time to wake up. It's Saturday morning. Find some milk and cereal. Grab a bowl and spoon. No, a bigger spoon. Head to the living room and take a seat on the floor while Joseph and Chris present to you Saturday Morning Cartoon!
Hello everybody, welcome to Saturday Morning Cartoon Boom! This is a show where we wake up with the Saturday morning sun, pops on for a big bowl of sugar cereal while trying to favorite cartoons, both old and new. I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And this morning we watched Mutant Ninja Turtles Superman Legend, aka Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Legend of the Supermutants.
Yeah!
I think there's some other names to it, but...
There's a few other names for that too, I think, but I think those are in Japanese, and
yeah.
I'm not going to hold you to that.
No, I'm not even going to try. I leave that up to you when you have to say names.
Oh, I'm prepared. You wait for it this time. I'm going to get it.
Wonderful. Who suggested this thing to us?
This was suggested by fate, because in looking up Ninja Turtles cartoons, I stumbled across this maybe a year ago, and I was like, oh my God. So I put it on the list, and it finally made it to the bottom of the list, which is where we got it.
Oh, nice.
It's too good to pass up.
Oh, fate. You haven't failed us yet, I guess.
Well...
So the show Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Legend of the Supermutants aired in 1996. It was just a two-shot, one-off, like, OVA thing, and I'll explain more about it later. Directed by Shunji Oja, produced by B Media, Super Ryu Productions, and as far as network goes, it wasn't ever televised as far as I know. It was an OVA, which is an original video animation, so it was made for VHS back before things were made for DVD, and it was literally just made to push a new product of toys. Well, not even a new product, a new line of Ninja Turtle toys in Japan.
And if they didn't have toys to go with this, I would have been extremely disappointed.
Did you watch the little commercials after the second episode?
Yes, I did.
Nice.
Those toys look awesome.
They do look awesome.
I totally would have gotten those if I had a way to get my hands on them as a kid.
I don't know. I'm going to go into more of it as we're talking about the episodes, but for a short synopsis of this one written by our friend Anonymous, Mutant Turtles Shojin Densetsu Hin, which is Superman Legend, is a two-part OVA series from Japan based on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles TV show. First episode is based on the Super Mutants line, while the second episode is based on the Japanese exclusive Metal Mutation line. Yeah,
I feel like I don't know, like part of me wants to say that I saw the Super Mutation thing at some point when I was younger, just because the images of the turtles look like something I'd seen, but it could be my mind playing tricks on me, because that does happen a lot.
You might be right though, because the ones where they had noses, the super mutations, did kind of look familiar to me, whereas the metal ones I had never seen before. I know I have never seen before.
Yeah, those I'd definitely never seen.
Yeah, so I don't know. There's some confusion there, but honestly, when I was trying to look up tidbits on this or anything about it, there's not a lot of information out there. It's like, yeah, it happened and this is what it was for. That's it.
So it's another one of those shows that like history tried to bury, but we found it. We dug it up and we resurrected it and stitched it back together and presented it on a turtle shell plate.
We suffered for you.
Horrible English.
Yeah. Who are some of the actors who played in this movie, this OVA?
All right. So the voice of Leonardo was done by Daiki Nakamura. The voice of Donatello was Hidenari Ugaki. The voice of Raphael was Hiroyuki Shibimoto. The voice of Michelangelo was Toshiharu Sakurai. The voice of April O'Neil was Emi Shinohara. The voice of Splinter and Krang was Hideyuki Umezu. The voice of Shredder was Kiyoyuki Yanada. The voice of Bebop, Kyosei Tsukui. The voice of Rocksteady, Hidetoshi Nakamura. The voice of Chris Moo and Dark Moo was Rei Sukuma. And finally, the voice of Hattori Kinzo was Tomohiro Nishimura.
Ooh. Like, as far as the characters go, I did like that one of their names was Chris Moo. because it just kept making me think of you. I was like, oh man.
I was like, oh, I'm a little fairy girl. Perfect.
It's like, I guess maybe Chris stands for light or good moo or something, because the other one's just straight up dark moo, but I don't know.
I think it's a play off of like the word crystal, which reflects light. But I mean, she came from a crystal, I guess. I don't know, man. I don't understand it.
For a few tasty mushrooms, I have our big bowl of Super Mutant cereal, and I don't really have a few. I have a couple. Really, I have one, and it's not even that interesting. The OVA features most of the same cast as TV Tokyo's Japanese dub of the 1987 TV series, so a lot of these were directly from the series itself, not the American version, the Japanese version, obviously, but this was a direct carryover, so it's connected to the series. It wasn't just like this was recast just to do this short OVA.
Oh, okay. So for like the people that watched this in Japan, like, I mean, the original cartoon, it seemed pretty like tied together. Like it was the same voice actors that you were hearing with the same characters. So it was like they were kind of used to it, I guess, is what I'm trying to get to.
Right. Yeah. Except, I mean, and they really pointed out that the guy who played Splinter and Krang was in there. They're like, most specifically this guy.
Oh, okay.
Because no one else could have done Krang like that, I imagine.
Yeah, that was pretty crazy. That Krang voice is hilarious, especially finding out that's the same person that did Splinter, because those voices are so completely different. It's amazing.
Yeah, starkingly different. And okay, this Krang his voice is so high-pitched, it's ridiculous.
I was cracking up as soon as I heard his voice.
This Krang was aware that, okay, first of all, like, this show was really funny. Let me just say the second thing I was going to point out before we go into the episode stuff. What I thought was funny that I noticed was when I was looking at some reviews of this on IMDb, like, a lot of them are 10s and whatever, and just people are like, this is fun, you have to watch it. But one of them that really stood out to me was a 1 out of 10. And his headline is what stuck out. It was "Nothing You've Ever Wanted and Then Some."
Oh, man. That's harsh, but like, I get it. I mean, I don't know. It's nothing I ever wanted, but I liked it.
Yeah, it was so weird to me, and I'm really conflicted about the whole thing because it wasn't the Ninja Turtles that I was used to at all, but it was a lot funnier as an adult.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would have appreciated it as much as a kid. Looking at it as an adult, I'm like, man, these jokes are really like spot on. I'm loving this.
Oh, yeah.
So had you ever heard of this before, or was it just you noticed it running into it and then stuck it on the list?
Yeah, I just noticed it and put it on the list, and I don't, like I said before, I don't think I've ever seen anything before, but for some reason those turtle designs are really familiar to me, but I can't put my finger on it. I have no idea.
Yeah, I think that I've seen the original mutation ones before, but I don't know where and to what capacity, or if I just saw them in some like old Wizard magazine or something. I couldn't tell you, but let's go ahead and jump into the episodes for today's show, which is going to be different than normal because normally we were watching parts of a whole series. This thing was literally only two 30-minute episodes, or like 28, 29-minute episodes. And so we just watched both those, and that's what we get. So that's it. So basically we watched the first episode and the highest rated episode and the random listener pick episode all together in these two episodes.
And the entire series. So we are now caught up.
We put the work in. Yeah, exactly. The way that these work out, before I even say that, is they're connected, like they're directly connected, but they're basically like two different movies almost, two different like short movies, because they're strikingly different. The only through line is that one follows the other directly.
Yeah, and there's like a little story that prefaces this whole thing, and it confused me at first because I kind of thought that maybe I started on the wrong episode, because it seemed like it was, it was kind of giving you a recap, but it was showing like this animation, and I'm like, oh, I must have missed something.
I thought the exact same thing. I was like, did I watch the first episode second?
Yeah, it was really confusing.
Like, they just do a good lead-in of, here's what you need to know coming into this, because this is going to be way different than anything you're expecting.
Right, and the whole thing, I guess, is that this little fairy girl who's super cute, named Chris Moo. I mean, come on. with a name like Chris. They've got to be cute.
Of course.
Shows up and is just like, you know what? Here's some crystals that'll change you into these super mutants. Here you go. And you can also form together, you know, because I don't know why, but Japanese animation loves to like, I don't know, like turn 4 or 5 things into one big thing, as we know from anything you've ever watched
Japanese
from
thing
over
ever.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, especially involving robots or something.
There's a limit on how long they can transform. Supposedly, they say it's 3 minutes, but watching the episode, I was like, man, it's been way longer than 3 minutes. And then as far as their other form goes, when they're all together, it's 100 seconds for some reason. So
yeah, it's very precise.
Yeah.
You know, these ancient crystals.
of course.
It's weird that these crystals adhere to man's law of time so precisely.
I like that they had those timers on them because it added for some funny moments, but
it was kind of silly, but yes.
The first episode's title is The Great Crisis of the Super Turtles, The Saint Appears, season 1. Well, just episode 1. I mean, it's just one season because it's 2 things.
Some of these anime like episode names of almost any anime are so long. It's like a Fall Out Boy song, you know? They're like, let's put entire sentences, almost get a paragraph in there for the title.
Well, yeah, it has to be really long. It has to have at least 2 parts to it, and at least one of the parts has to have an exclamation point on it.
Yes, and otherwise you don't have an anime on your hands. You have an imposter.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you can tell.
Yeah.
In this one, the Turtles explore the temple of the Lost Muta Kingdom, where they free the spirit of the light called Chrismu, who is trapped inside the Mutastone. In reward, she gives the Turtles the ability to perform super mutation, which transforms them into the Super Turtles for 3 minutes.
So, like, that's what happened before the episode.
Yeah, that's true. That's the lead-in.
Yeah, we didn't see any of that. They told us that happened. And
They recapped that in maybe under 30 seconds. Apparently, like, they found this crystal in an underground shrine of Neutrino Kingdom, which is cool because the neutrinos are those like interdimensional hopping like dudes with like the cool car and like the crazy hair and the glasses from the series.
Yeah.
Do you remember them?
Oh yeah, the ones that were like, they were the ones that were at war with like the Krang and stuff.
Yeah, with like the rock people, whatever, the rock generals and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they can turn for 3 minutes. Then there has to be adversity to Chrismu. There's also Dark Mu, who is trapped inside of the Dark Mutastone, and Krang, Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady have possession of this dark crystal, and they're in the process, when we come into this episode, of trying to free her.
By basically, they just need to wake her up because she's asleep.
But the way they're trying to wake her up is like having her destroy stars around the solar system.
Yeah, I didn't quite understand that part, but I guess they were somehow using some sort of energy from the crystal that was making stars disappear. And there was a joke that kind of went into this that kept reoccurring that was kind of at first stupid, but it got funnier as it went, because it was like they were basically channeling NASA, and there's a captain up in space in a shuttle, and he's like, hey, these stars are disappearing. And the guy back at NASA is just one guy with some like McDonald's, and he is like, oh, sorry, like I was out getting lunch. And he's just like, did you forget your glasses? Come on, you're making stuff up. And that just keeps going through the episode. Like every time it checks back in, he's just like, hey, I found your glasses, you dummy. And like all kinds of stuff. And the captain is just getting so mad because he's seeing all this stuff disappear, and he's like swearing at this guy. It's hilarious.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite jokes of the whole thing. That really, like you said, it wasn't funny at first. It was just kind of funny. But then the fact that they kept going with it was what made it great. Is it came up every single time he would talk to NASA. No matter how serious it was getting, these stars are literally disappearing. And this guy just cannot get off of these glasses. And the other guy's so serious as a contrast. And it makes it so great.
I thought one thing that was interesting here is how this opened with a lot more time seeing what the bad guys were up to before we got to the Turtles, which I kind of liked, because it's like, you know, it almost always opens with, you know, what are the Turtles up to? What antics are they in? This is more, you know, there's a lot of focus on, and I guess you needed it, on what's happening with this Dark Mu crystal and all that stuff, and what they're doing to wake it up. And then Krang sends like Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady down to Earth, and the Turtles kind of just happen to be leaving the sewer right at the time they show up. So that was just kind of like, I don't know.
The ultimate goal that they're going for is trying to destroy Earth. Like, he's destroying these stars to wake up Dark Moo so that she can eventually destroy the Earth. And what I liked is, just like in the regular cartoon series, Krang and Shredder have a constant, like, adversity going on. And Shredder's asking him a good question. He's like, what, after we destroy Earth, what are we going to do? And he's like, oh, we can just, I don't know, go stay in Dimension X or something. Like, he doesn't even have this plan fully formed. He's just like, let's just go to Dimension X. And everybody else is just like, Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady are just like, what? No, like, I don't want to do that. Like, why? Why are we going to go there? That place is terrible.
Yeah, they started freaking out, and that's when they got sent to Earth. Because Krang was like tired of dealing with them.
Yeah.
They get down there, and basically Krang mutates them into their super mutant forms. I don't know how to describe. Like, Rocksteady gets skinnier and turns green and looks really sickly and gross.
Yeah.
And Bebop is taller and like he's already looks kind of like an 80s punk, like 80s, 90s. And here it's just kind of emphasized more. Because it's like his mohawk is longer and he's like a little skinnier and he's got more spikes and stuff.
Yeah, and instead of being like the pudgy Bebop, like he really leans out and gets all these muscles.
Yeah, they're both kind of ripped, honestly. I mean, Rocksteady already was, but like Bebop gets some muscles and I don't know. He went vegan, I think, and got like dropped a lot of that fat so you could see the muscle underneath, the lean muscle. He's building lean mass is what he's doing, hitting those gyms.
Yeah, he went on a keto diet, so he dropped his
keto.
Carbs.
He's been doing CrossFit. So yeah.
And then Shredder
I don't know how to describe that.
He turns into like a metallic dragon thing. Like he doesn't look like Shredder at all anymore. Like,
I don't think he's human anymore. I'm not sure.
No, like he turns into some weird like Godzilla looking thing. Not Godzilla. Yeah. I guess just a metallic dragon. And he looks pretty cool, but they are also on this 3-minute timer, but they don't know that yet. Like they weren't told.
So this is one thing I like. The turtles whip their crystals out and they mutate too. And the best way to describe them is they look a little bit more human. Not as far as like skin color, but anatomically they look more human. Just more slender. Their arms and legs look a lot more human. The shells are way less bulky. They've got noses. Their masks become really pointy and stand off their heads because Sentai stuff.
Well, they're all basically Wolverine masks now.
Yeah. It's basically all Wolverine masks. Wolverine turtles. It's kind of cool. They fight and then like. The turtles, well, I guess Shredder and Bebop and Rocksteady are like freak out. They're like, crap, we didn't know this was a thing. So they're running. The turtles are chasing them. Shredder's like yelling for Krang to send the Foot Clan or something. Like, why isn't the Foot Clan here? And Krang, I love this part. This is my favorite part. Krang's like, they're on vacation. Like, I sent them on vacation because nothing was really going on. And
he's like, I knew I shouldn't have put them on vacation or sent them on vacation.
And because the crystal is waking up, all this stuff starts happening to Earth. Like there's earthquakes, there's tidal waves everywhere, tornadoes touching down everywhere, and you're seeing different parts of the world with something happening. And this is the best part. I was drinking a water and I almost spit it out because it made me laugh and it caught me so off guard. Or it cuts to like Miami and you see the Foot Clan. And they're wearing like Hawaiian shirts and they're having like a cookout on the beach and dancing around and just having fun.
But they still have their mask on too.
Yeah, they still have the masks and everything. Like they have their full uniforms on. They're just wearing Hawaiian shirts over them and sunglasses. Oh my God, I laughed so hard.
In the animated series, like they're supposed to be robots too. So I guess they're just robots on vacation. Or I don't know if in this OVA they're supposed to be human. I'm unsure.
Well, yeah, here's the thing is in Japan, maybe they are human because, I don't know, they have way less strict, like qualifications and censorship for cartoons than we do here.
That's true.
I mean, if you think of things like Sailor Moon.
Actual
we did a while ago, we talked about all those differences.
And Battle of the Planets or G-Force.
Yes. Yeah, so maybe they are human over there. I don't know, but God, that was a funny scene. I also like that they showed the frogs. That was cool.
Oh, yeah. I was hoping there would be more like cameos like that, but I think that's all we got, really.
Yeah, it was, but like that was satisfying enough. That was like oh my God, the people that made this really are fans.
Yeah.
Because like when you were a kid, you loved those frogs, man. They were awesome.
Yeah, the toys of those frogs were the coolest. Like they were cooler than the turtles themselves.
Yeah, and they were so different. I think they only make 2 of them. They made Genghis and they made Napoleon.
Yeah, I think as far as the toys go, because one of them was like a horned frog.
Yeah, that was Genghis.
Right, and then the other one was just like a bullfrog. But the cartoon, they were all using the same frog model, and they just changed their clothes. So the toys are just much more detailed. Yeah, exactly.
There's a nice little nod there. And I didn't understand this. Did you see when the like... as the foot soldiers are having fun, like a tornado just sweeps them all up and shoots them in the air. And they all yell like, the foot soldiers are blasting off again. Yeah. And I'm like, wait, is this a Team Rocket reference? Which one came first?
Yeah, exactly. I was like, did Pokemon come before 96? And was that just referencing that?
I don't know. Or I'm wondering if it's just some sort of Japanese cultural reference thing that we just don't know. And we've only heard it from Pokemon. I don't know, but that was weird. And
Pokemon
I was like, oh, that's
came
cool.
in 97. So that means that this preceded that. So this has to be like a callback to some like crazy Japanese thing, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, so they were on vacation, they get blasted off, and then this this tidal wave comes in because this is at this point like the earth is shaking and there's these natural disasters going on everywhere. And this tidal wave comes in, like floods the Technodrome and basically saves the turtles because like it sweeps away, Shredder and his crew. And then goes into a battle where the enemies are on the Statue of Liberty. Darkmoo finally awakens, and I think one of them calls her a cute devil or something.
Oh, yeah, because, look at her.
Yeah,
she is kind of cute.
She is a cute devil.
And I think you said, but, like, all of New York is flooded. Like, the water is up to the crown of the Statue of Liberty where the bad guys are hanging out. And the turtles are floating on a pizza billboard or something.
Yeah, they are. And also,
Splinter.
At one point, Splinter says, like, I'm glad that I learned ancient swimming style. Like,
right? I'm like, what does that have to do with it? You could have just doggy paddled and you'd be fine. Like, what ancient swimming style did he reveal? Oh my goodness.
And so Darkmoo, being free now, like hits Shredder with this super energy and turns him into like a more giant version of himself, like a super Shredder, but a super like metallic dragon Shredder. I think
he becomes a giant kaiju, basically.
Yeah, Dark Devil Shredder is what they call him.
Oh, very, very subtle.
Something else is like the Shredder in this, like everybody else looks exactly the same as they do in the 87 series, except for Shredder. They changed him for even the foot soldiers look the same, but Shredder is the only person who looks way different than his normal version. I have no idea why. I tried to look for that, but there's no explanation. I guess they just like this animation style better. Like he has giant eyes. I don't know. It looks so strange to me.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. I wasn't sure. I didn't feel that into it, but like as the show went on, I kind of liked it.
I think if they had like dialed back the eyes a little bit, then it would have been fine. But those eyes they kept bothering me because they were so big.
Yeah, and I wonder if they did that because like they did very typical anime like stylistic tropes with this, like the tears when something happens or their eyes bugging out and like all kinds of stuff. Like they did goofy things with these characters, and maybe that original Shredder design just didn't work with it, and this one did. But like I don't know, I was kind of into it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fine. Like, don't let me like make you think that made me hate it or anything. But it was very noticeable because everyone else was exactly the same as their normal version. So it just really stood out.
Yeah, it was weird.
Yeah,
it was not expected.
Again, because these are literal shorts made to sell toys, they have to be cut short. So Kaiju or Dark Devil Shredder lasted for maybe like 10 seconds. Then he tries shooting the turtles and Splinter and stuff, and he just can't hit them. And then one of them, I think Donatello, like jumps onto a building or something. And just like holding
Donatello's driving me nuts.
He's holding there for a second. He distracts Shredder so that he will shoot at him. Shredder shoots this building, and then the building topples down on top of Shredder's head, and that's what defeats him, is this building falling on him.
Can we just mention how annoying Donatello was in these scenes? Because he kept yelling stuff at Shredder, and he's like, yay, yay!
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, God, stop.
Dark Devil Shredder's defeated. He was nothing. And then they have to go up and defeat Dark Moo because she's like, okay, well, since that didn't work out, I'm going to go up outside of the atmosphere and destroy Earth.
Yeah, she's like, I'll go to space now.
Yeah, and so they do their thing where it's been well past 3 minutes, but somehow they're still in their mutated form. So then they all do their fusion thing where they turn into the Saint mutation, which is basically just like it looks like them, except it's stark white and has like different color things to represent each of them, like different color elbow pads and stuff. I can't remember exactly what it looked like, but
yeah, it was like some sort of ankle wrap was like maybe orange, and the knee pads were red, and the wrist guards were blue, and the elbows were purple or something.
But it was just,
I don't know, it was something like that.
It was very basic, and it didn't really scream Turtles to me at all. So it's like the more they mutated, the further away it got from the idea of Ninja Turtles. But they, they go up to space, of course, and I would say fight Dark Moo, but they don't really fight her. Like Chris,
they more dance.
They just kind of dance around, and they're trying to get their bearing straight. And then Chris Moo does she pulls a Dragon Ball Z thing where she's Goku against Raditz, and she grabs Dark Moo from behind by the arms and basically is like, use your final attack and kill her. It'll or not even kill her, just like vanquish her trap her back in the crystal.
And of course, because it's like an anime, like when she grabs Dark Moo from behind, Dark Moo's boobs bounce like hysterically high, like boing, and you're like, come on.
And then, it's your basic trope, though, where it's like, even though she's an all-powerful being, since she's grabbed from behind by the arms, she's completely powerless to do anything.
Right, exactly.
And so they use their Mega Final Saint Blade, which is their final attack, and strike her down. They both get trapped back in their crystals. And that's pretty much the end of that. And the Turtles, then losing their mutation power, since Chris Moo was also trapped, are kind of pushed onto this shuttle that had been conversing with NASA the whole day, or the whole episode.
Yeah, that same one.
Yeah, and so that was pretty much it. Although her body was small, her bravery was enormous. That's what they say about Chris Moo in the closing part of the episode.
And other parts of Dark Moo were also enormous.
I mean, that was literally the whole thing. Like, there's bits and pieces we might have left out, but
there's lots of jokes in there, basically.
A lot of jokes.
And lots of jokes and goofy animation.
It really didn't take itself very seriously for something that was kind of serious in a lot of spots.
Which I think helped it. Like, if it took itself seriously, I think we probably wouldn't have liked it so much.
Yeah, you're right. Like, it did really help, and I did laugh a couple times out loud, and I was surprised because I was like, oh man, I thought I was just going to dislike this because it was going to try to be too much of the Turtles plus these like Japanese tropes, but instead it was really almost a parody of the Ninja Turtles in certain ways.
Yeah, definitely.
So the second episode we watched for today's show and the last episode was The Coming of the Guardian Beast, The Metal Turtles Appear. Of course, that's the second part to it. Season 1, episode 2. And then this one, the Turtles, along with April and Splinter, travel to Japan in order to help Kinzo Hattori get rid of a ghost haunting the Hattori house.
Yeah, like Shredder and April really didn't need to go because they didn't do anything. They're just they're there because they're like, well, here's 2 characters, let's include them so we can make toys of them later too.
You're talking about Splinter and April?
Yeah, Splinter and April. They didn't really do much in this episode except tag along,
Yeah, no, that's true. April literally, she was just there.
Yeah, she had a few lines in this entire episode, but it's whatever. The focus was a lot more on the Turtles this time around than it was the last time, which was kind of fun because the last one it was very much more centered on the bad guys, I think, which I liked. But here we get a little bit more turtle action, which was cool too. Yeah,
again though, it's really focused on these mutastones, but in this one, they're encased inside the back of this mirror, and apparently there's this ghost. There's this ghost of this Japanese, I don't know,
that ghost cracked me up.
Yukimura, who was originally trapped by Hanzo Hattori, the ninja of legend. I don't know he's not doing anything. He just like comes out and laughs every once in a while.
He laughs the whole time. It's great.
I guess Kinzo...
He kind of guides him a little bit.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he guides the enemies, yeah. But I mean, I guess Kinzo is worried that this spirit is going to steal the Mutastones or something, because that's why he calls Splinter in. Like, the Turtles and Splinter and April...
The way he gets called in, too.
They're on vacation because, they just finished that huge battle, so they're on vacation. The enemies, there's no rest for the enemies because... Krang is just like, hey, I found a new Mutastone, so you need to go and get it like right now. And when they refuse, when Shredder's like, no, I'm not going to do it, like he just starts making this annoying noise.
He's like crying, I think.
No, he's not. He's doing like a noise, like a noise that he makes when he's happy is what it is. Ugh. But he's like, it's almost like I'm going to make the most annoying noise in the world until you agree with me. And he's just like, and just over and over again. And then Shredder's like, all right, I'll go. Fine.
So Krang sends them to Japan, and the Turtles are going there too to help Kinzo. And when Shredder gets there, he's like, so we're in my hometown, Japan. And I'm like, I started cracking up. I'm like, that's an entire country.
Oh, yeah.
You call that your hometown?
And then he's like...
That'd be like me being like, oh, I'm back in my hometown, the United States of America.
And then Shredder's like... he almost starts to get like nostalgic about it. He even says like, I'm getting nostalgic and starts to like almost cry. Like he's down on his knees.
He's like reminiscing.
Yeah.
I do like how they find out that Kinzo needs help because like Kinzo sends Splinter a scroll and then he unrolls it and it just says help.
Oh yeah.
It's like this fancy, like it looked like it would be written in kanji, but it wasn't. It was English, but it just says help.
Yeah, it said help. I like Kinzo because he's kind of useless. Like he's the worst ninja, and
he's kind of an idiot. And
he really is. Like when they come, like when Splinter and the rest come to Japan, and like they meet up with Kinzo. Splinter used to train them or something, I guess, back before he was mutated. And Kinzo, like April has her camera, and she's like trying to like look around and like interview them or something, not even interview them, just like recording for prosperity's sake. And Kinzo's like, I'm shy.
Oh man, he's such a goofball, which is funny.
The whole time.
He plays everything so serious, and then like something happens, and he's got that silly laugh and gets embarrassed and things. And you're just like, oh come on.
He's almost like Vash the Stampede if Vash the Stampede also had no skills.
Yes. A lot of this reminds me of Vash the Stampede type humor, like with how they treat a lot of the characters,
Mm-hmm.
Where it's like there's some parts where things are kind of serious, but then like they'll do something super goofy.
Yeah, it's like Trigun Light in that way.
Yeah, basically. So they get to this old shrine where Kinzo is, and they're sleeping, and then that ghost you were talking about earlier shows up and just starts laughing and wakes everybody up, and I'm like, what is happening? Because they're like, what does it want? And he just keeps laughing and doesn't do anything, and they're like, and then Shredder, Bebop, and Rocksteady show up at that same time, and then they get mad because nobody's paying attention to them, and they're just watching this ghost.
Oh, yeah.
Shredder's like, how rude.
Shredder is offended that no one was paying attention to him.
Yeah.
How dare you not notice me immediately?
Exactly. So yeah, the ghost is pointing at this magic mirror. The back of the mirror is inlaid with mutastones. They didn't know that at first. Donatello looks at it, figures out what's going on. Oh, these are mutastones, blah, blah, blah. So battle is about to ensue because, they need control over these mutastones. They got to keep it out of Shredder's hands. For whatever reason, the shrine starts to collapse. And so they got to run. And as it collapses, this giant, like, tower fortress, like this old thing, rises out of the ground way high into the air. And the mirror is way at the very top. And the ghost is still laughing and just pointing up. And so then the bad guys are like, we got to get to it. So they start climbing. And it takes like a minute for Kinzo and his ninjas to realize, oh, crap, they're going to get it before us. So they start climbing up. And then the turtles are like, oh, yeah, we should go too.
Yeah. And then somebody points out, they're like, since this is a castle or fortress, shouldn't there be stairs inside?
Yes, this is the best part.
And Kinzo gets super embarrassed, and even a bird flies by and insults him. I won't say what word he uses, but
Oh, I'll say it. We'll just bleep it. But the bird flies by and he's like, "What a dumb."
all you need to know is the transformations, and these are really what the toy selling portion of it was.
Yes.
The turtles get these, it almost looked like Zords coming out, like Power Rangers Zords coming out. And that's what I thought it was at first until they form into armors around them. So Leonardo is like a blue dragon, Raphael's a phoenix, so Donatello's like a manticore, and then Michelangelo, he's like some kind of spider beast. I don't know. I
don't know what he is. Yeah, he's a hairy spider.
Yeah, basically. And then conversely, since there are 7 gems inside this thing, you know that the other 3 have to be used for the enemies. So
of course,
Bebop, he's a fish for some reason.
I think like a piranha-ish kind of thing because it's got like sharp teeth.
Yeah, I guess so.
I don't know. But yeah, he's a fish.
Rocksteady is a Hydra, which is pretty cool.
Yes.
Which I thought should have been Shredder's, but instead Shredder got a white tiger.
Yeah.
It just seemed like
lame.
a strange kind of mixture of gems here, because I would think like the Manticore, Spider, those would be the enemies, and then the like fish and then the white tiger would have been hero ones.
I think Michelangelo would have made a better fish than a spider.
Than a hairy spider.
Who am I
yeah.
to judge? Yeah, I mean,
know.
all of these they looked pretty cool. I mean, the designs are all awesome, but the idea that there was a fish, a tiger, and a spider, the fish and the spider particularly were kind of stupid. Just as an idea of, an armor model. The tiger was fine. It's just next to all these other ones that were way more like fantasy creatures. It was kind of like,
Like the blue dragon versus a fish. It's like, come on.
Right. You got a dragon and a phoenix and a manticore and then a tiger and a spider and a fish.
Yeah.
It's like, come on, guys. But they looked cool, though, like as far as the armor design.
Yeah. And then I think these can be summoned for 6 minutes or something like that.
Yeah. I don't know. Did we just start the timer? And
yeah. Like they just kept saying different times for everything. Everything had a very specific time. You get to see like Leo and Shredder start having an energy struggle between the white tiger and the dragon, like beams almost. And then because the 6 minutes are up, the evil armors wear off. And so they start to like try to run away.
I love how it happens, though, is because all of a sudden you just hear like and their armor just falls off.
Yeah.
And they're like, crap. And they got to run.
They start running, but Shredder makes sure to take the 3 mutastones, the evil mutastones that he had grabbed from the mirror. So he still has, he's retained those, leaving it open for potential like extra stuff to happen.
Yeah. They look like they burned into the palm of his hand or something when he grabbed them because there was like a sizzling noise.
It might have just been the energy coming from them. I'm not sure, but then, like, of course, to close out on a comedic note, like, they're on top of the fortress, the heroes are, and then the fortress starts to, like, rock back and forth. Kinzo is like, oh, I forgot to tell you, it's really flimsy. And it literally, the episode closes out with the whole fortress crumbling. And,
right.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
I expected, like, another joke or something like, but no, it's just like, it falls apart and that's it. And then the credits roll. Did you notice in the credits, like, it's like listing all these Japanese names, but for one of them, and I think it was Krang, it said like Josh Martin with a question mark.
Josh Martin? Question mark? Yeah.
We don't know who voiced it. And we're just going to assume it's American instead of Japanese.
It's like, I guess it was some guy named Josh.
Yeah. I don't know how they messed that up, but because I mean, it wasn't hard to find the real info.
Yeah.
But whatever. Thanks, Josh Martin.
Well, Chris, looks like it's about time we find a couple of mutastones for our inner kids to see what sort of cool armored beasts they become. And then, after we profit off their accompanying toy sales, see what they thought of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Legend of the Supermutants.
This cartoon was so awesome because you have the Ninja Turtles and they get all this cool armor like hydras and fish and spiders and turn into these big guys, but then there's like the bad guys and they get all cool and big with all this armor, and then Shredder's like this big giant who's like, rawr, and then you got all these cute little fairy girls like Dark Moo who said she's gonna be my new girlfriend. So I gave this cartoon 4.5 bowls of super mutation cereal out of 5.
Wow, I'll tell you one thing about this OVA. I absolutely would have wanted those cool toys, so they succeeded in that. While it was really funny and had some great action scenes, it didn't really feel like the Ninja Turtles to me though, and the episodes themselves seemed really compressed and convoluted. I mean, I know that they were really compressed and convoluted since they were always intended to be straight-to-video toy-pushing shorts, but still, they felt it. Overall, I'd give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Legend of the Supermutants 4 big bowls of 100-second Saint cereal out of 5, and I'm kind of in the middle on this one, whether I'd suggest it or not. In closing, the turtles in the show looked like the ones I know and love, except when the Mutastones gave them noses for some reason, but their individual personalities didn't really come out at all. Leonardo didn't really lead, I don't think Donatello did one machine, Raphael wasn't really cool nor rude, and I didn't really get the impression that Mikey was, in fact, a party dude. What gives?
Yeah, they kind of messed up with that one because you can take the dude out of the party, but you can't take the party out of the dude.
I mean, like you said, the first episode was very villain heavy, like very focused on the villains, which is fine. But even the second episode, like you didn't really get turtle personality at all. It was more just about the armor, and literally like Kinzo was the most interesting character of that episode just because of how ridiculous he was. The turtles all seemed to kind of blend together, and you could have taken them out of it altogether and you really wouldn't have noticed. Like, it didn't have to be Ninja Turtles at all. This could have been a template for anything.
Yeah, that's a very good point. Like, I can give you that.
So I guess so to even beat you to it, like, those are kind of my final thoughts on it, is that, like, it was fun. Like, it was a fun show, and it had some really funny parts, but you have to detach it from the Ninja Turtles that you are familiar with, especially the 87 Ninja Turtles, because it's not really like that at all. The characters are there. They look like them with the exception of Shredder, but overall it didn't feel like it at all, and it wasn't that at all. Like, they didn't really have, I mean, the foot soldiers were on vacation. There was so much different about it. But as a show that has like cool mutations and these awesome like metal armors, like, it was awesome and it looked great, but again, it just didn't feel like Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I can give you that. I had a good time watching it. I really liked it. And I think I would recommend it just to see, because it is so different and out there. It is super fun, but like you said, you're not going to see the clear personalities of the Ninja Turtles at all. You will see the personalities of some of the others, like I think Splinter and April come across pretty well, and most of the bad guys as well. But yeah, the Turtles' personalities are... the four of them are very similar in the way that they act and the way that they talk and think, but there's no real distinction between the four of them, really. Even so, I thought it was pretty fun. There's a lot of the classy, goofy anime tropes, and it uses some of the characters in kind of refreshing ways, especially Shredder, that made it really fun and satisfying to watch. Definitely not something to take seriously, like we said. It's very much a comedy, kind of like the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles was. But this is more like you have to put the anime aspect of it in front of the Ninja Turtle aspect of it to enjoy it, I think. So if you can do that, if you don't go in looking for, this is going to give me more Ninja Turtle story, and instead go in thinking, oh, I'm going to watch an anime, you know, similar to something like Trigun or Dragon Ball Z, but it's going to be Ninja Turtle themed, then I think you're in for a fun treat.
Yeah, and honestly, I think if it had been an ongoing series and not just those two made straight for some, you know, toy selling VHS tapes, that it really could have gone somewhere, and I would have enjoyed it more had they kind of made it more their own, instead of trying to combine the American version with this Japanese version. It kind of felt really disjointed to me, but like, you know, like we were saying though, still fun overall.
Yeah, I agree. You know, if I'm kind of sad that they didn't have more, because I would totally watch more of this. This is definitely something I would be like, you know, when you go back and you watch, I don't want to really say Dragon Ball Z because it gets way more serious, but if you go back and watch like Dragon Ball, like, I get that same kind of like, oh, this is really fun kind of feeling, you know, when I'm watching this. So yeah, like, I really wish that there was more, because I totally would have been a fan of it.
And I would have loved to see like a giant turtle Zord of some sort. Like,
oh my God, you know, there would be one, and it would be awesome.
You would have to, like, it had everything else. It would need to have Zords.
And at some point, the Technodrome would transform into a big robot.
Definitely Transformers. Like, it has to just combine everything that originated in Japan. Yes.
Oh my God, yeah, it'd be great. Real quick, before we announce what we're watching next week, we've got a 5-star rating on iTunes. And it's very long because they suggest a something for us to watch. So I'm going to skip that part of it. And I'll name what it is, but I won't go into the details of it.
Okay.
And the title is also so long that I can't read what all of it is on iTunes because it gets cut off. But it starts out tubular, radical, bodacious, and then you see OT ... And I'm gonna guess like other cool things or something. I don't know. This is from Wicked703. Wicked says, this series is pretty good. A healthy mix of an enjoyable trip down memory lane with a view at what current animation has to offer. The hosts are very likable and have a nice chemistry with one another. It's also relatively short each episode, at most just over an hour, which is nice for my commute to work. If I had one gripe, and it's a minor one, I wish they used clips more often and or used longer clips. Other than that, it's an enjoyable show. Real quick, I'll address the clips thing. There is a reason we don't use longer clips and we don't use more, and it's so we don't get sued.
I agree with you. Like, some of those clips are really funny, and I wish we could share more with you. But what I will say is that that's more incentive to actually go and watch the show yourselves, because sometimes all you need is just a tiny clip of something to really understand how funny it could be if you watch the whole thing.
Yeah, a lot of times it's just to emphasize the points we're making and to be like, oh, yeah, like the way we would describe it won't do it justice, so here's the line kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So he goes on to suggest a show called Animals from HBO, Animals with a period. And he said, yes, the period is part of the title. And he gives us an episode to watch. And he said that season 3 comes out August 3rd, which has already happened. So that's cool. So season 3 of Animals on HBO. Go watch it, I guess.
Oh, wow. So
HBO, you should give us money for promoting your show.
So this is a new thing, or new-ish thing, I guess.
New-ish. Yeah, I've never heard of that. So he goes on to say, anyway, great podcast, very enjoyable. I'd give it 5 store brand cereals because my family tried to save money wherever they could. Out of 5. Signed, Dan. So thank you, Dan, a.k.a. Wicked703, for the very kind words.
That was awesome. I liked that. That was very thorough. He gave us some feedback that was constructive feedback, and we were able to reply to it as well.
Yeah, by saying no. but giving good reason, at least, because we want to be able to keep doing the show. And I think if Warner Brothers had their way, they would cancel our show. But luckily, they don't own us yet.
Yeah, but I'm glad that he thinks we're likable, and that at least likable enough to be store brand discount podcast.
Yeah, I like it. I could be store brand. That's for sure. Cinnamon squares, bro. That's what I'm all about. Cinnamon squares.
Well, listeners, looks like our milk supply is now run dry, so it's time for us to say goodbye. And next week, we'll be watching
Teen Titans Go to the Movies, suggested via Reddit by MF Mad.
Yeah, you know what? I've never watched... Okay, so I'll say I watched the original Teen Titans animation. I liked that a lot. I haven't watched the newer one because really it's been more of a time thing. Like, I don't have anything against it personally. I know a lot of people don't like the animation style or the fact that it's just not as serious, but whatever. Like, I'm okay with like the fun style of it and whatever. But then I've heard such good things about this movie that I kind of have to catch it, and I hope everyone's right.
Yeah, I am in the exact same boat. Saw the original, have not watched the new one, and have heard bad things. But I watched the trailer for the movie, and it looks awesome. It looks hilarious, and there's lots of like meta jokes and stuff. Like they have a confrontation with Slade and keep calling him Deadpool, and he gets all mad about it. And he's like, "I'm not Deadpool. I came first." And they're like, "Nah, you look like Deadpool."
That's awesome.
That's just funny, man. That's something I don't think DC's ever done. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, I wonder if it's going to be like funny on the level of Lego Batman. If you ever saw that.
I have never seen Lego Batman.
Oh my God.
But it is in our suggestion list. So
okay.
We'll get there.
It's hilarious. So just spoiler alert, hilarious.
Spoilers.
All right. Well, once again, I'm Joseph.
And I'm Chris.
And we'll see you next Saturday.
Presented by Nerdsloth,
a place for lazy nerds.
If you like what you heard, consider donating at patreon.com/nerdsloth so we can continue bringing you quality shows. Be sure to also leave us a review and share your favorite episodes and clips on social media. If you're looking for more content, visit us at nerdsloth.com.